reports say the reason the NFL finally responded this way was that so many teams had called the league office saying, hey, we can't get a hold of anybody. What's up with Kaepernick?
Right.
How do we can we work him out? Is it still okay to work him out? Because there is a lot of bad blood here. He sued the league. They settled with him. I don't know how much it was for. There are reports of $1 million up to $10 million. So I don't know, but they did settle.
Right.
So that creates some animosity, right?
The league is the 32 teams. And that money that he got, no matter how much it was, maybe it was $1 million, maybe it was $10, comes out of the 32 owners' pocket.
Okay, so the NFL reportedly has grown sick and tired of trying to answer unanswerable questions when people call to say, what's up with these guys? You know, we can't get through. They're non-communicative. They're difficult. They're evasive. They're elusive, just as the NFL is being right now.
So the NFL said, we'll bring him to you and you ask him those questions.
You ask him. So let's just get this over with. So it's irritating me that the NFL is so not transparent here. I wanted some kind of a media session where it didn't have to be Roger Goodell, but one of his lieutenants could have done a session saying, okay, this is why we're doing this now. Right. And try to explain. It would probably been
Troy Vincent.
Okay, Troy Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why Atlanta? You know, why not a more central location like Dallas? Why Saturday? Why blah, blah, blah. All those questions that we can't answer. Well, the truth is, I'm not sure Troy could answer those questions. I don't think there are good answers for this. But yet, I don't have much sympathy for the way Colin's camp has handled this, the way it has stonewalled all along. And have we heard anything really from Colin?
No.
Not a peep.
And I think that's kind of how he wanted it. Skip, for me, and I go back, and I think you go back with me. What has transpired with Colin Kaepernick's situation from 2016 when he was unable to gain employment to right now? Is he less toxic? Because here's the thing. Let's just say a team signs him, and they come out there for pregame, and he takes that knee. What happens again? Revisit the issue that led to this, what we believe that led to this in the beginning. That's what I don't understand. Now these teams are going to be in attendance. You could have invited him in, because here's the thing, though, Skip. You know, it's like if I invite you in, that means I'm showing interest. If I just show up, I mean, hey, I might just be there chewing the fat. Hey, out in the neighborhood. Like I said, I believe this is why Cap wants the list. Okay, is it the general manager? Is it the assistant GM? Or is it the guy from the film room? Or is it the Hill Gopher? What's his official title that he's in attendance and watching me do what I do? Well, the NFL says you don't need to know that. And for me, Skip, at the end of the day, I want to find the positive. And that's what Jenny's question was, the positive.
Sure.
He gets an opportunity to get in front of NFL eyes, or what we assume to be NFL eyes. The question is, then I flip it back, how realistic is his chance of getting on an NFL roster?
Okay, we both agree with this. It's probably slim to none, but we both agree if just one pair of eyes is on Colin, and that pair of eyes goes back home and says, hey, I really liked what I saw, as simple as it is, just he's throwing against air to receivers he doesn't probably even know.
Exactly.
But looked good, looked like he was in great shape, arm strength superior. He ran, I don't know if he'd run a 40, but he might do some kind of running drills. I don't know, cone drills. I don't know, just to see what kind of condition he looks like. But what if it's like A+ condition? Okay, and somebody says, you know what, maybe we should bring him in for a workout. Well, now it's time for Colin to submit to this, to say, okay, I'm no longer above it all, because he used to say, wait, I'm a starting quarterback. I don't have to go work out for anybody.
But so let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he gets an opportunity. Someone signed him for the remainder of the year. Does the NFL feel they paid their debt? He's paid in full now? Because, Skip, you do realize Tua is going to enter the draft. Herbert's going to enter the draft. Joe Burrows is entering the draft. Probably from Georgia is coming in. So Cam is going to be on the market.
Talent,
We believe Cam will be on the market. They haven't said anything, but we believe that Cam is going to be on the move. So, I mean, what are we looking at here? Six, 7 games? And I'm like, okay, you bring him. You expect the quarterback. This is not a wide receiver where you say, okay, Josh Gordon, line up on the right and run a slant. Josh, line up on the left and Skip, you got to know everything. You can't just.
Okay. So back to for immediate release. He says a quarterback with these statistics not getting a chance, never seen anything like it in my 25 years of being an agent. Okay, let's refresh everybody's memory, because I needed to refresh mine before this show started, as to exactly what Colin did accomplish in his seasons starting for the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, his touchdowns, interceptions were 72 to 30. That's pretty great.
That's very
right?
good.
Overall starting record was 28 and 30, which not great.
Not great.
Started out hot.
Right.
Took that team from midstream to the Super Bowl.
Right.
When Jim Harbaugh had the guts to me to say, nope, Alex Smith, you're out.
Right.
I'm going with this kid. And he carried you all the way to within a controversial non-call of winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
Second year, 12-4. Lost to Seattle in the NFC Championship game.
He was a tip pass away from going back to the Super Bowl.
Okay, thank you very much. Then the Harbaugh regime went south and sour, remember? And they ran him out.
Right.
And that year it was 8-8. And then they just fell off. He was 2-6 as a starter and got hurt in 2015, and then 1-10 as a starter to finish.
Wow.
So his QBRs went from 4th in the league just for that first half a year, 7th in the league the next year. That's tremendous.
Right.
15th, 29th, and then 22nd when they went 1-10. So there was a tail off factor.
Right.
And if you want to dock him for that, if you want to give him some, a lower grade for that, feel free. But we also saw some greatness for him.
Right.
We saw what he did to Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game. We saw
Twice.
what he could
went
do.
back up to the following season and did the regular season.
He did it twice, but at home he did it with his legs as well as his arm, because he ran wild.
Because remember, we talked about how Lamar Jackson had that game where he rushed for he threw for 250 and he ran for a 1. And I was like, you notice how they prefaced that? They said in the regular season.
Yep.
Cap ran for 181 and threw for 263 in a playoff game.
Wow.
So we know what he was capable of. Is he that?
Yep.
It's hard for me to believe that he's still that after 3 years of not doing anything.
3 years. It's a long time.
I mean,
And he's now just turned 32.
not to compare him to Muhammad Ali, Skip, but Muhammad Ali lost 3 years of his prime that he never got back. Yeah, he was great, but what could he have been had not those 3 years been taken from him?
And remember, he had such a high boxing IQ that when he came back, he reinvented the way he boxed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it took rope-a-dope to upset Joe Frazier in the Thriller, in the Rumble in the Jungle.
That was Foreman.
Yeah. Foreman. I'm sorry. Foreman. Yeah. So the point was that he became a different fighter.
He had to.
And again, would Colin have to be a different quarterback? No. I think he could still do what he used to do.
Right. It's just hard. I just can't wrap my mind around that 31 teams said, nah, we good. Now it's like, we forgive and forget. I just don't know what has happened. What happened? He's still Colin Kaepernick. He still did something that a lot of you find offensive. So what? I guess him taking a knee now wouldn't be disrespectful of the military. It wouldn't be disrespectful to the flag or the police. So or have we forgotten? What about the socks that he wore? Remember, the socks was the issue. And what about the Castro T-shirt? He wore that. But now it's okay?
Well, it was all a long time ago.
It was a long time.
I guess everybody says let bygones be bygones.
Well, I would hope so. And one team that keeps popping up on that list, Dallas Cowboys. Again, their owner is the staunchest, we will stand for the anthem of all the owners, right?
Oh, yeah.
But maybe because Michael Bennett sort of made peace with it some way, shape, and form, right?
Right.
Could they use Colin Kaepernick as their quote-unquote backup quarterback? Yes. Is he better than Cooper Rush? Yes. Would he fit the way they run the offense right now a little better than Cooper? Yes.
Yes. And they would probably rely more on his legs than they even do Dak Prescott legs.
They need to rely on his more than they did last Sunday night.
But they definitely probably would lean that way a little more than what they do on Dak. But it's just like I said, he's in front of eyes. I'm trying to find the positive, Jenny. I believe that he's in front of NFL. How it came to be, we might think it's a PR stunt, a sham, or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, the NFL says, there you go. This is the opportunity that we're going to present to you. Do with it what you want. You can say no, or you can go out there and put your best foot forward, and let's see what comes of it.
Okay. So in a few minutes on the show, we're going to talk about what Tim Tebow did for the 2011 Broncos. And this situation reminds me a little bit of what Tebow got thrown into, because remember, the Broncos were 1-4, dead in the water. And new regime with John Elway, John Fox, they did not draft Tim Tebow. So what did they do in game number 5? They were on the way to play at Miami, and they said, let's just get this over with. Let's throw him into that fire at Miami. And somehow, some way, he pulled off a win in overtime. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he was off to the races. So I'm comparing it to this only because at least Colin has a remote chance here. It's a virtually impossible chance, but it's a chance.
Right.
I think Tebow's chance at Miami was pretty remote also.
Right.
I think it was virtually impossible, and he kept pulling it off against all odds.
You believe that this is a situation where they say, go out there, we know you're going to fail. We want everybody to see you fail.
Yeah. I'm sure in the backs of their minds,
Yes.
he is set up to fail, right? This is a virtual can't-win situation,
Right.
but it's only virtual, meaning there's a 2% chance that you'd catch somebody's eye or imagination.
Well, sometimes people like 2% milk.
Yep.
It's not
Maybe.
skim. I mean, hey,
Maybe.
make it work, Cap.
Okay.
2% milk.
Could be.
How long has this been in the mix? You want to hear more from Colin? It's like there's still so many questions that need to be answered.
And the thing is, before we go, Skip, you think after this that Cap is actually going to talk? And I'm not talking about not in a setting where he's talking to kids or he's talking to at-risk. I'm talking about actually have a sit down and talk to someone. You think that's going to be possible now?
I would like to think it would be.
Yeah.
I am still mystified over what he's all about now. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm fascinated because we have not heard enough from him.
Yeah.
I thought we might start hearing from him as more of a social justice crusader.
Right.
That he would take on that mantle. That would be his second career calling.
Right.
But we haven't heard that from him, and he continues to insist, I want to play football.
Right.
So he's going to have to be very convincing in the short interview that they have set aside time for, that I'm all about football. I'm 100% all in to become a franchise quarterback again.
Right.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see how he handles this one. It is interesting, and we're learning more daily. So we're going to move on to Kawhi. And we talk about backing down a lot on the show, but did Kawhi back down last night against James Harden?
You mean the score
That
in the
is
paint?
next, and don't forget, you
That what it
can
was?
check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.